I cried because I was like, I feel like I'm in jail. I'm actually really looking forward to moving back home.
Yeah. Oh, well, not yet. Wait.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel and welcome to today's video. So today we're catching up over some tea and filling you guys in on what we've been up to in the past couple of months. So where should we start?
Kim, Ethan and I, we went back to Brisbane. That was really, really good. I actually went to New Zealand first. The good thing was we flew together. We were able to get on the same flight from Heathrow
to
Singapore, and then these guys went to Brisbane and I went to New Zealand. But the first leg was pretty daunting for me because it was my first time travelling with Ethan on a long flight, and there wasn't much sleep there.
No, but you know, he was quite good. He was good with you.
Yeah.
For me, he's like, I think he just thinks I'm his mate. With you, he's just like, he keeps still, he's calm, he sleeps on names. With me, it's like he's crawling over the chairs.
Like he tests the water with you. With me, it's kind of like he knows, like, you know, I'm not going to mess around with this guy.
So I said to Nams, I'm not travelling without you.
Yeah. But no, it was really good.
But that was hard for me because Ethan was like, because of the time difference, he was dead asleep and he wouldn't wake up. So, which is a good thing, but when you're like trying to take him off the plane and then take him to the bus, it's like he's so heavy. When I went to get off the bus to go to hotel quarantine, the police officer was like going row by row, and then I was next and he's like, oh, there's a young girl, and I was like, oh, thanks. And then I was literally, he didn't see I was carrying Ethan, and I lifted him up, and then the police officer was like, oh, and a big baby.
Yeah, he's definitely a
and
big
then
baby.
he ran to go get my pram.
Well, speaking of getting in there, how was quarantine this time around? Obviously baby's walking and talking and moving a lot.
Yeah, he was quite mobile, and it was a lot harder because of the fact he wanted to get out of the room. I had to entertain him a lot because, you know, the first time we had quarantine early in the year, he was like not moving much. He only just started to sit up, and you know, he was just sleeping all the time.
So it's different threats, I guess, this time around.
Threats. But he's he's quite funny. But it was hard because, like, you know, he was always looking out the window, and then he was playing with the fridge, taking everything out, putting it back in. He actually got into the routine of knowing when the food would be delivered. So when the hotel staff would knock on the door and be like, breakfast, lunch, dinner, he'd be like, mum. So he knew it was like food.
I think what broke my heart was like when I FaceTime you guys was when he'd go to the door and he'd knock on the door because he wanted to get out, and that broke me because I was just like, oh.
Or he'd cry and walk towards the door.
He'd walk towards the door as if he wanted to leave. So that was, for me, that was tough seeing. But I think for us, the toughest thing was the cold. I think when we hit the cold, it was pretty cold. You
the heaters weren't working, hey?
Yeah, and the heater wasn't working in my room. So good room, but just no heater. But the funny thing was, when I was in quarantine, like in our hotel, you had to download this app and then like put your orders in for your breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Really?
And so half the Fiji team, like the boys, didn't know how to do it, so they were expecting the food to come. And then our liaison officer like got in contact with me and was like, listen, aren't the boys hungry? And I was like, no, they are. They're complaining about the food's not coming. I had to tell the boys, listen, you have to download the app and put your orders in by a certain time, otherwise you won't get the food. So I think for the first few days, some of the boys were like starving or ordering Uber Eats, so that was pretty funny.
I forgot to say, our highlight in quarantine was my brother coming to drop off stuff at the hotel, and he was down at the bottom and we were waving at him from our building. And that was pretty cool. I cried because I was like, I feel like I'm in jail.
So far but so close.
Yeah, exactly.
So. But and then joined you guys in Brisbane, and that was a special moment for me. Like it was actually a last minute thing that we were going to go to Brisbane. We actually weren't going to go to Brisbane. We were just going to stay here for the summer, and then obviously I got picked for Fiji, and then I was like, right, let's go home. Like, let's try and get home. So we managed to get on a flight back home, but you know, I hadn't been home in 3 years.
Yeah, such a long time.
So I hadn't seen any of my family. So, you know, to go back this time, but to take Ethan back with me, that was pretty cool moment. And I got to introduce him to, you know, I guess all our family and friends.
Yeah.
A lot of memorable moments, I guess. What was your probably memorable moment?
Definitely the baptism.
Yeah.
Yeah, the baptism, that was like amazing. Like I was in awe of, you know, the whole event.
Yeah.
Not only just the baptism, but the Fijian side, the cultural side. It was just amazing. And, you know, thank you to all those who helped out with that. And it was, I don't know, it really touched me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think for me, obviously, the baptism was the number one on the list. You know, taking Ethan back to the church that I grew up in. You know, and you know, it was weird in a way because like I was in his shoes, running around that church, and to take him back there for him to get baptized and also get welcomed into our family, and like it was just for people to come out and enjoy that day with us. You know, it was really, really touching, like you said.
Yeah, it was.
And just seeing all, you know, my uncles and aunties that I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great, and I think also seeing Ethan get dressed up in the Fijian attire.
So cute.
It was so good. I mean, he probably doesn't have a clue what he was wearing, but to me, it just made me proud.
I even had to wear it, and that was really cool.
Yeah, involved as well, and I think it made me proud as a father, but also a husband to see the culture being put into our family, and that's something.
His little, what's it called, the Sulu?
Suluvatanga. Suluvatanga.
I thought it was Sulu.
Oh yeah, Sulu.
Yeah,
and
that was cute.
Yeah, I think that was. You know, culture's lost these days, and I just don't want that to. I think another highlight of ours was our first ever family photo shoot.
Yeah, that was really nice.
That was touching as well. I really enjoyed that day. A good friend of ours took time out of his busy schedule to take some shoots for us. Cade, he did a great job. So if anyone in Brisbane is after photography, hit up Three Sons Photography. That was a pretty cool moment. Just the three of us, you know, we saw some photos.
Moment, so. We saw a couple, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
like how
beautiful.
We just did
so
it.
Another highlight, I guess. You know, particularly my mum, spending time with mum and taking Ethan there, and you know, we wouldn't do much. We'd just go and just chat for hours on end. Yeah, and then you and your parents.
Yeah,
spend time with your parents.
I always miss my family. Like it's just hard, you know.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, like being on this side of the world and then having to say goodbye.
This was probably the hardest thing, hey? This is the hardest time
to say goodbye this time,
It was like...
We were very emotional.
Yeah. For the first time in my career, I was just like, I didn't want to leave.
Yeah. I think because we've got Ethan now.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's missing out on things and time with family and friends.
Yeah, 100%. And also, too, he's got little cousins now.
Yeah.
And so that's another factor of why we probably got really sad. We didn't want to, you know, because we come back here, it's just the three of us.
Yeah, and, you know, our parents are getting old.
Yeah, parents are getting old, and, you know, their words of wisdom when they were put on us were just like, stop it, enough. So, but no, that was... And also our friends.
A lot of our friends.
We were meant to catch up with a few other guys, but lockdown hit,
Yeah, unfortunately, the last week we were there, we were supposed to like cram everyone else in, and unfortunately it was locked down for that week, and we couldn't see anyone except just our family. But, you know, it was just great. We were able to, you know, spend as much time as we could with family and whoever we could at the time.
And I think the best thing about being away also, how our dogs were looked after.
Yeah, so when we came back, like we had house sitters and they did such an amazing job.
Yeah.
So we came back and the house was in like pristine. It was like so clean.
Yeah.
And the dogs were so healthy and happy, and Rocky put on a bit more weight, which is good because we were trying to get Rocky to put on weight. Unfortunately, Kimber put on a little bit of weight, so that girl's got to walk it off.
Yeah, so we've got to walk her.
So we've got to walk her now.
Yeah, I think for me that made our trip heaps easier. Peace of mind, knowing that they were fed, they slept in their own rooms or in the house.
In the house,
And they were just well looked after. So I highly recommend that if guys are planning on long trips.
Yeah, and the house is taken care of too.
And the house is taken care of, which is another thing, you know, it's a bonus because then you don't have to worry about people breaking in which we've had in the past.
Yes.
For you, how has the holiday changed your perspective, or has it made changed the way you think, I guess?
Yeah, it has. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's really, you know, refreshed my mind.
Yeah.
Before, when I was here with Ethan and you were always at work, it was really difficult. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And it was very hard because of the lack of sleep. But now, like, he's a bit older and he's, you know, He's a little bit easier to look after.
Is he really?
Well, like so now it's like we've got a routine. He eats. Sometimes he doesn't want to sleep, but you know we just try and work around that.
And I guess that's probably the hardest thing for you, I guess, because we don't have family here, and I'm obviously at training every day.
Yeah.
Because when we were in Brisbane, we had people helping us.
Yeah. That's why I was like, well, I need some structure when I come back. But one thing I must say is I did enjoy, you know, having a bit of time away together. Remember we had a bit of time away? Like we did give Ethan to our mothers to look after, and but I also felt guilty. To be honest, I did feel guilty. Remember when we went away?
Yeah. I don't know why though. I mean, we're going to see him again.
I felt like, I don't know. I think it's just a mother's thing that you have, like that you just feel guilty while, like, you know, you're like checking your phone.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Making sure he's not missing you or crying or, you know. But and you, how are you feeling about being back here, and are you ready to start the season, and how's pre-season going?
Yeah, so, you know, for me, like, I'm just excited for the season where, you know, I used that time in Brisbane to really declutter a lot of what we went through a tough year last year with baby and just moving and stuff. So to get to Brisbane, declutter, and then to come here with, you know, refreshed, and, you know, like, it's just given me the opportunity to, you know, like I've got that enjoyment back.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for what this season holds. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing the season well, you know, obviously on the field, but off the field with us as well. And probably what our family needed, to be fair, like our little family, to just get back and reconnect with our bigger family. And
I think because we felt so far, we've been so far away, and so isolated. Not saying like we do live in the middle of nowhere, but as in, like, you know, we've got no family and friends around.
When you say middle of nowhere, you just be specific. We live in a farm.
But no, I'm saying, like, even in France, like we had friends there, but it's not the same when your family's there. You know?
Exactly right.
So you kind of feel alone in that sense. Yeah.
Like they say, there's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
So
I'm actually really looking forward to moving back home.
Yeah. Oh, well, not yet. Wait. Still got a few more years in these old legs.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
But, like, you know. So there you have it, guys. We'll leave it there. We hope you enjoyed our little tea time chit chat.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below on any other ideas. Keep them coming. And yeah, until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.